good friend and also mentor, Brent Conley. He's been in the business for 18 years, sold over 18,000 homes. Yeah, and he's my go-to guy. He's my master strategist. So he's going to be talking to us about
a whole bunch of stuff.
Things. Yeah,
Useful techniques.
A lot of actually really useful things. And then what we'll do is we're going to have a short Q&A after. But at the end of the event, we're also going to have a Q&A where you can ask Brent or any of our presenters any questions that you guys might have.
Excellent. Sure.
Enjoy.
Thanks, William. All right. So I came here. I was the guy that did the red eye. I had a problem with my flight, so I got in here at 6 a.m., so I'm still here. It was my commitment to William. So can you guys hear me in the back?
Here.
Yeah? Okay. This thing, I don't think it worked really well earlier. There we go. Okay. So a little bit about me. I've owned real estate brokerages and teams for the last, 11 years in a couple different states. My biggest year as an individual agent with a team was 750 transactions, 420 listings closed, and the rest were buyer transactions on my team. And my company that year, between the two states, we did like 3,300 transactions. So that's how you add up to 18,000. So a little bit on mindset. I started with Mike Ferry a long time ago, and he taught me a tremendous amount. I was just an average agent selling homes, did a lot of buyer transactions, wasn't really organized in my business, and didn't really push towards the listings. And as of today, William's telling me to speak up louder. I don't think this thing's working. Let me see. And as of today, I'm pretty listing oriented. I don't like buyer transactions personally. They're needed and they're important, but I'd rather control my time. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm going to focus on a little bit here, and I can touch on a little bit of buyer stuff. I don't know who we're speaking to with this audience, if we have a lot of teams in here, team leaders, brokerage owners, or just individual agents. So I'm going to touch on a little bit of everything. First is mindset. I start every day at 0. So I start every day at 0, like I have no business. Doesn't matter what I have in escrow. Doesn't matter what is pending, what's active. The mindset every day is I have to go figure out how to talk to buyers or sellers, preferably sellers. Okay, so using that will help set the stage for you guys. And how do you get a listing today? Right? If you have no listings, then that's the question everybody should be asking themselves every day. How do I get a listing? If you're a buyer's agent, then it's how do I get a buyer in the car today? If I don't have them in the car, I can't write a contract, right? It's all about contracts. And that's a big mindset shift. It was for me because I love being just an average real estate agent. And I said, hey, I'm in real estate. Everybody's going to call me. Nobody was calling me. Didn't have the money when I first started my career. I worked part-time, and that's how I started in this business. So as you build your businesses, think about that mindset. Even today when I'm building a business, or I'm trying to go after a new neighborhood, or I'm going after recruiting agents to a team, then I'm like, hey, who do I need to talk to? What's the fastest way to get from here to here? And if I need income and I need time, right, because I have family, I want to spend time with my family, then a listing is where I can manage that. A listing is where I can really put somebody in place to deal with the seller after I go on the hunt and kill, hand it off. That's what I like, right? I don't do paperwork. I don't write half my contracts. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't want to. Okay, it takes time. So I value my time. I had to get out of my own way to have that mindset, okay? And it was part of it is changing my habits and my comfort zone in order to do that. So when we get into a little bit of the comfort zone and we're going through the motions in real estate and everything's going pretty well, we're not motivated by having that mindset of starting every day at zero, we kind of get into a complacency zone. Nothing's really exciting. It's mundane. Anybody ever experienced that? A few of you? So that's time to upgrade, right? It's time to upgrade, go buy a new car. Time to figure out, hey, I'm gonna go book this vacation. I'm gonna go figure out how to go get that $2 or $3 million listing. Or how do I get that buyer in the car today? That's a challenge, right? Or how do I get that seller? How do I build up enough courage in order to go knock on that multi-million-dollar door in order to have a conversation about selling their property? So I was really good at expired listings. I think there's a law here or something that you can't really prospect expired listings and stuff. So I have some other ideas on that here in a little bit. But it all starts with the mindset. So I'm really pushing that right now because everything that you're telling yourself that you can or can't do is what you're going to do. Plain and simple. I left Phoenix, Arizona, at 150 listings, and I moved to Carlsbad, California, where I knew 0 people, and I started a real estate brokerage. I started in real estate, not knowing anybody in one of the most expensive markets in California. Okay? It takes a lot of courage, maybe some stupidity, but it takes a lot of courage to leave that type of business where it's guaranteed paychecks, guaranteed profitability, and an average lifestyle that was really good, to increase all of my bills 100% in order to improve my life. Okay? That takes a lot of guts and courage. So, what can you guys do to up your game? What kind of standards do you guys have for yourself that can contribute to do more than you're doing today? How much money do you guys really want to make? Not say that you want to make, really want to make. Is it about the money? Is it about the time? I want to make a lot of money, but I want a lot of time with my kids, and I take a lot of time for my kids. So, it all starts with that. It starts with what I need to learn and improve in my current business so I don't have to repeat this last year if I wasn't happy with the results. So whatever you guys have to figure out in order to move into that space, and I'm not selling coaching, I don't do coaching and all that stuff, but I do think that a coach is important for a lot of people. It's the accountability, having somebody to talk to in order to up your game consistently. And when that coach is kind of average, fire him and go to the next person. Find a better coach. A lot of times that comes with more money that you have to spend in order to get a better coach, but it's well worth it. Somebody's going to consistently challenge you and challenge your own principles of saying, hey, life's good enough. Because in 5 years from now, who are you going to be in 5 years from now? Is that standard today acceptable for the person you're going to become in 5 years? Because I don't like to go backwards, and I've been backwards a couple times in my life. I want to say, hey, I'm going this direction. I'm going to go learn this in order to become this person. And whether that's in the luxury real estate space, whether that's in the volume space, whatever you're thinking of like, hey, I did X amount of transactions. I want to go to X amount of transactions. Or I want X amount of dollars in my pocket, net profitability. Or do I want to be the number one agent that's broke? I've been both. Sucks, one part of it, right? So there's a lot of people that are building big teams and they're building them incorrectly. They're building them because they're buying all these leads and they're hiring real estate agents to work these leads that are not qualified to work these leads. Kind of like what the guy was saying earlier today. That dude had a system and he actually trains on that. I respect that tremendously. Because if you are building a team and you're spending money for buyer business and it's really hard to get a contract signed and the odds go down. And if that agent wants 50% of the commission or more, in the States they want like 70%. I don't know what it is here. But if they want that, your profit margins are shrinking. The commission compression is going on in the States. I'm sure it's going on here with low inventory. So before, I was always getting 6.5% listings. And we've had to take 4.5% listings. It's like killing me. I hate that. I try not to ever go there. It's not my business model. Because every time I do that, it causes me all kinds of more work. So how many people take 7% listings? One person. I just took a 7% listing on $1.5 million listing. I just wrote it on the contract. No objection. Does it take courage to do that? Yes. Does it take thought? Does it take something like you're okay with rejection? You're okay with inviting that conversation? Hey, if you don't like what I put on the contract, call me. Let's talk about that. But I don't want to go into a negotiation standpoint from a 6% or 5%, which a lot of markets are. And we deal with all of this in San Diego, and we deal with all this stuff in Phoenix. I don't want to go in that standpoint. I want to start high. If they sign the contract, I'm good. If they don't, maybe I can cut it 0.5 point. Maybe I can cut it 0.75 point. And then I can go to 6. And then I can go to 5.75. Right? You're hedging your bet. Right? You're going in very confident. And you're screwing with the mind of the seller. You know why? Because nobody else will write that down. Right? So it takes courage to build that up. But you can make more money. If you're taking a discount commission, because I know it happens, and sometimes it's a great listing, you know it's going to sell today. It's at a great price. It's going to be less work. Are you putting X dollars in commissions and a transaction fee? Are you tying that transaction to the buyer side? Okay, I'll take this, but I want you to sign a buyer broker agreement that guarantees me I get 3%, 4%, 5%, whatever it is. I don't know all your stuff here. So, States, we can get in trouble talking about commissions. Okay. But I'm not telling you guys what to do. I'm giving you ideas to consider. Okay? That's how you start making more money, especially in a market that is limited on transactions. Because I'm in markets like that too. I just went on a $2.8 million listing and 6%, no problem. But the trust is built prior. We're going to get into that a little bit too. Okay, so I don't want to just come up here and preach to you guys. I want to actually give you a lot of information in order to put put things into play. How many people are running Facebook ads? A little bit, okay. Facebook ads, dollar cost per lead, really inexpensive, okay? So I think you guys have Zillow here and Trulia and stuff like that, right? Kind of?
A little bit.
Okay, eventually it'll come.
Yeah, we have
Okay.
Zolo.
You have what? What's it called?
Zolo.
Zolo? Okay. Okay. So they'll probably end up growing and growing and growing. We've watched this all around the States. And now they're doing Zillow offers, instant offers. And what that's doing, it's creating a tremendous amount of seller leads in the States. I don't know if that converts over here, but the people that got into Zillow, even though I hate Zillow, okay, I don't spend any money on Zillow personally. I look back and I go, shoot, I missed the boat. Because if I would have started, I could have had that Zillow account in Phoenix where the instant offers were coming. A lot of the public is on that because they've branded it so well. And, you know, Realtor.com should still be owned by NAR, but it's not, right? So I'm not a big fan of theirs either. But these sites are lead aggregators where they've already built the public's trust, okay? So what sites are here that have built the public's trust? So think about that. Is there an opportunity to purchase those leads? And just like the gentleman said earlier, but you better know how to work those leads, right? Otherwise you're gonna waste money. But that's a huge opportunity that potentially isn't here yet, that might be a year or two off. For somebody in here, I hope it's one of you guys that gets that account. Because if they come into this marketplace and they start doing instant offers and they go, oh, wait a minute, we want to buy homes, like they're buying in Phoenix, and they just opened in San Diego, they're buying homes there, and their purchase price is up to like 1.2 in San Diego, and they have a box, the buy box that they want. But in Phoenix, in Vegas, also, they're buying homes. The market share that, like, I just remembered a stat, they owned like 40% of the market, they were buying 40% of the market of homes in Vegas at one point. I don't know what it is now, this is probably a year or so ago, but they owned like 40% of the market under 400,000. They were buying that much. Open Door is another one. OfferPad, those are the things that we fight in Phoenix. You know, Redfin, we have that. Right? Everybody's got the Redfin app. All the buyers do. Yes?
Sorry, I know this would be an ignorant question, but what's the point of them buying the homes? I don't understand why would they want to buy so many homes?
So they have Wall Street money, so like it's free money. They can build their business with no repercussions. They want to control inventory.
The concept is the same
Right.
in used cars.
Right. They want inventory so you can trade in your house, sell it to them, instant offer, and you can go, you're moving over here. Oh, we'll sell you one of our inventory. But use our services, right? So like here, like in the States, we have title and escrow. You guys have closing states here with attorneys. So, or this is not states, but sorry, my brain's provinces with attorneys. What if Zillow has their own in-house attorneys? Okay? Potentially, if they can figure out how to get away with that, they'll do that, right? They're not in it to help the real estate agent. They're in it to help the real estate agent as long as they're paying or they're useful. It's corporate America. So as real estate agents, we always think, you know, entrepreneurship and everybody pretty much is willing to help out everybody else. Corporate America, it's how do I hit my bonus and drive profits? Because when there's a stock involved and the public owns the stocks, the only responsibility of that corporation, the leaders in the corporation, is to drive stock prices and dividends. And technically, that's what you guys should be doing also for your own businesses. Sole proprietors, you have a team, you have a brokerage. You guys technically work for yourselves, but your job, your sole job is to drive profits for yourself, right? And so some of these ideas that I'm giving you, you can do that with, okay? So Facebook ads, it's a pretty inexpensive lead right now, okay? And I don't know the difference here in Phoenix is a market of 300,000 or under, and like San Diego is 600 and something thousand. And so the difference is pretty great on a Facebook lead. Younger generations on Facebook, some of the older generations are there because of their families are there. They're not really playing around and all that stuff. Instagram's the next thing. It's here now. YouTube's the next thing. It's here now. So all of these sites on social media and YouTube, they want to drive traffic. They want to keep people engaged 24/7 if they could, because then they can sell ads, and that's really good for you as real estate agents. Okay? And I'll get to that shortly. Business pages, Facebook ads run off your business pages. And if you start learning that, you can drive your lead costs down. You can target market certain demographics and stuff like that. They're starting to take some of that away now, but in the past, we were able to really zero it down. How many people are doing group pages, group Facebook pages? Okay, what's your group?
So it's a city name.
The city name? Okay. How many people are members of that group?
Oh, I have to check. Maybe close to 5,000.
Okay, that's good. It's growing. All right, so what's yours?
It's like a community page for a neighborhood.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so this, a city name, how do you get more people on there, right? Advertising it. And it's not as targeted. It's only targeted because of the city. You're going to have everybody on there. And then a community page or group page, right, is focused on just one community. Okay? That's going to grow really big. Okay? Facebook just announced 2 weeks ago, I think there's a video on YouTube or something, that they want to have the future of Facebook in the group settings to have an avatar, okay, where you can go meet all these people in the groups and have conversations. So with that, I am with eXp Realty, by the way.
Oh, that's a disruptor.
I will tell you that. Only because it's relevant to what I'm saying now. Okay? We do have avatars in office space and a whole world and all that stuff at eXp where Facebook is going. Now they're going to build their own system, right? But everybody is wanting to work out of the house. We have a total shift in, rather than going to the office, they want to work out of the house. And where do they meet and communicate and have office meetings? From their house. They're doing Zoom calls, and they're doing virtual reality type things. So one of those systems eXp owns is called Verbella. There's another one I used years ago when with my own company, Solutions Real Estate, that we used called Sunoco. We used that because all the agents were different places. We had meetings there. We did taught classes through Sunoco, all that. So Facebook is going to build, and that was just headsets and not really cool avatars and stuff. So, but now I'm old school. I don't really like technology. Okay, it's weird for me. So, but it is cool when you put on a headset and you can go into a virtual office and have a meeting face to face, and you're staring at the screen, and your avatar, you don't really recognize, your brain doesn't recognize after some time that it's an avatar. Like you're having a conversation, you're getting business done. Oh, I need a link to that. They post a link in the box, or they can send files through there, and during that meeting, you get the PDF. So that's the future. Facebook's going to do the same thing. So build your Facebook groups. Okay? They want a worldwide experience on that. Now, I love it for the city. I love it for communities. I love it for realtor associations or networking groups. I think it's very, very valuable, right? And I think there's huge future in that, especially with Facebook. And I think you guys can really build like a small community. Like this would be great for branding, right? Posting stuff or whatever, not doing too much. Diving into a small group and being a moderator or being a contributor is the way to go, right? I was part of a Facebook group with my gym last year. I think it was last year. Yeah, last year. They closed down, so that kind of sucked. But as a real estate agent, the gym was in Encinitas, California, right on the border where I live. I live in Carlsbad. And it was really like a mile away. And it was all their gym members, okay? And they would post workouts, they would post all this different stuff in their meal plans, all that stuff. Pictures of other people at the gym, and it was building a community that strengthened their gym, okay? Well, I saw that, and I'm just gonna comment on anything that's ever posted in there as a real estate agent. I'm gonna hit the like button on everything I ever see because my name, Brent Conley, comes up. So I'm building, so Joe Schmo posts something in a workout thing or a community thing. Hey, this is a great post. Hit the like button. 2-3 weeks later, a month later, 2 weeks later, post something else. They post something else. Man, you really do great content. I'm engaging with them, right? So being engaging, online friendly, complimentary, positive, that is hugely important to get people to start responding to you. And with that, I built a name for myself almost at the gym, and I would get invited to different things with this community, right? I spent $0, other than my gym membership, which I was going anyway, to add these people to my network. So I had a Super Bowl party. I invited all of them, right? Now I'm bringing them in to my community. You can leverage Facebook groups. So whether you guys are doing your own gym stuff, you're hiking, you're traveling, you're clubbing, you're parenting, whatever the Facebook group, whatever your interest is, do that first. That way you're passionate about engaging in it and it doesn't seem like work. Does that make sense? Is that a cool tip?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. That's how you add to your database where it's really freaking hard to add people to your database because everybody's busy. And everybody wants to be just like you, and you want them to be just like you, right? It's a trade-off. So it goes back to acceptance, right? It goes back to, hey, that person's friendly, I want to go talk to him. That energy is really exciting, I want to go talk to him. Now, if you have negative Nancy, don't want to pick on Nancy, in case there's any Nancys in here. If you have a negative person, everybody's going to shun them. They're going to go away from that stuff, typically. Politics, religion, all that stuff, just they're running from that on social media. My suggestion is don't get involved with that. Okay? And I understand everybody's passionate about their own stuff. But, so Facebook is basically doubling down on virtual reality with their avatars, and that is the future. So start understanding it. I'm like leading you to deals right now. I'm leading you to build your database. Now that we're on this topic, your personal page. We just talked about not putting negative stuff on your personal page, and that's really, really important. Because, here's a question for you. Are you worth doing business with? Ding, ding, ding. How do I get more business? Don't be a dick. Don't post about the freaking politics because 50% of the people on your Facebook don't want to hear it. Okay? So, super important with that. Are you worth doing business with? Are you professional in your approach to the business? Are you tearing down other people, realtor against realtor, brand against brand? I like all the brands. I've owned independents from ground up, and I've been a part of multiple brands. Independent brands, Reology brands, Keller Williams, doesn't matter to me because the brokerages, the brands are offering a service. So I just told one of my guys, he was bashing another brand, knock that shit off. You know why? Because since he works with me, it makes me look bad because I don't have that belief. Makes him look like a jackass. Well, so-and-so did it. I don't care. You want to succeed? Follow my lead. Okay? It's your reputation. It is your friendliness. It's the willingness to help another real estate agent in this industry that's at a different brand. That's for some reason they like that. That's cool. But whatever you put out, you're going to get back tenfold. Firm believer in that. So think about that. Are you worth doing business with? Not just as a real estate agent, but as a potential listing agent. As a potential agent to help their mother. That's on the opposite side of whatever your belief is. Right? It's built by trust. If you are not trustworthy on social media, guess what? You will never get that opportunity. Plain and simple. If you're not trustworthy with the other real estate agent, and they have the buyer or seller for whatever deal that you're in, that transaction probably is not going to happen because they're going to take your client elsewhere, or it's going to be a battle, right? So having high integrity and honesty in our community as agents and in the community out there with buyers and sellers is highly important, okay? And that comes across on social media. Because everybody's first instinct in person or on social media is to judge you in a negative way. Doesn't matter if you're being positive. Doesn't matter. Why is that person posting about rainbows and sunshine all day? Why is that person, always post pictures of their kids? Why does that person post pictures of their work? Well, because that's what they're into. That's what's important to them at the time. Right? So having a little bit of control, a self-filter, will help you guys. Okay? It's an image business. Always. You're being judged. So handle all of that social media stuff with care. It's really, really important. Commenting and engaging versus just posting. I've got friends that just post, business. They get zero business. Social means be social. Engaging. Right? That's hitting the like button. That's commenting on their stuff. Because somebody that understands social media like myself, I know who engages with me and who doesn't. So, if you're a team leader, if you're a brokerage owner in this room, and you're not doing this, you're not being engaging, trying to recruit other agents, whether you're with your brand or not, you're missing out. Every time you hit that like button, every time you engage and give them a compliment, is one more goodwill in the box that's going to accept an appointment with you, that is going to go to your happy hours, or that's going to go to your training class, that's going to go to something of yours that's important to you, and it will start with hitting the like button because you paid attention to them. On their forehead, make me feel important, just like a buyer or seller, right? On social media, it's make me feel important. So, let's see here. Asking for help and asking for business after you give value. And part of that value is appreciation. Part of that value is, hey, watch out for this scam that's out there. Part of that value, if I see somebody that lost their job, hey, how do we help find you a new job? David Gold and I did this for years. We were selling for a lot of the banks in the States and stuff, and asset managers move around, lose their jobs, and especially with the downturn, a lot of them lose their jobs. Our 3 or 4 people that we were hanging with, we would all work towards finding people jobs. Now, if you take that into your sphere of influence, and they post, shit, I lost my job. Excuse my language. What kind of value do you think it is of saying, hey, you just lost your job? I'm going to send your resume out to 3 or 4 people that I think might be hiring. Let me see if I can score you an interview. Doesn't matter if they get the job or not. Just the fact that you reached out is huge. That's value. Okay, that's tremendous value because it shows care, it's engaging, it's contribution, right? It's all of that. What do you think that person's going to do if they land the job or if they don't? They're going to say, you know what? I really appreciate what you did. I got to sell my house because I still haven't found a job. Can you list it for me? Right? I'm just giving you one example, right? That's one side. The other is, hey, my parents are moving here. I want you to handle that transaction. Or my neighbor's going to sell the house across the street or in the condo above. I want you to handle that. Here's their number, okay? That's what social media can do for you. And there's examples like that all over the place. I'm just not going to go through them all. So just think about social media a little bit differently because it's a really interactive, fun way that you can get sucked into for sure, right? If you spend too much time on it. But I'll also argue, depending on how many friends you have on social media, are you spending enough time on it? Because if you're that engaging, it's going to be powerful. Okay? Give. No expectations of anything in return. And guess what? The windfall always comes. I promise you that. Okay. Let's talk about video. Video for your real estate business. Okay? Posting videos on your social media is pretty impactful. Doing it over and over with the same content is not. Okay, I'll get into that. Let me ask you a question. How many people are doing videos right now? Okay, everybody else, listen up, write this down. I need to do video. Okay, write that down. Okay, here's the reason. The reason why is because when they see your video on social media, their brain cannot distinguish you on social media versus the TV versus the movie screen. Okay? So now you're a TV star and you're a movie star. Yes! For whatever you're videoing. Okay? So is that a market update for your community on your group? Absolutely. Everybody's curious about that. Is that a community organization like, I don't know, Easter egg hunt, Halloween party? Like, do you have all that stuff here? I don't know. So, like, whatever those events.
Yes, we have Easter and Halloween.
I don't know. That's pretty funny. Sleigh bucks. Although there was curling on the TV today. We don't have curling in San Diego. There's women's championship curling.
We
It's
sell
pretty rad.
igloos here.
You know what?
We sell igloos here.
Igloos. There you go. The ice fishing championship, right?
You betcha.
Right? The barrel over Niagara Falls or something. So any of this stuff, right, is engaging, right? Community events, and those type of videos are really important because now you're personable. I'll do videos now and again on my Facebook with my daughter or my son, and they hate it, but dad's marketing, right? So I did one 2-3 weeks ago with my daughter, and I'm shocked she played along. She's 11, and we just went to Starbucks, and I bribed her, and then I said, hey, let's do a video. And I can't remember what we did, but it was engaging. It got a ton of views, a couple hundred views within hours. And that right there makes you human, okay? Makes you human. I'm a driver, okay? Money's important. Doing business is important. I don't always recognize feelings. But video can make you human. Even though you are in a different environment, right? Like the dude that was up here earlier, he was a driver. I could tell all day long. He was friendly, but he's a driver. So, driver personality. Rick's going to talk about that here soon. That's a really important segment. It's one of my favorite segments of learning this because I'm still learning that part of the personality styles. How to present to it, how to communicate, all of that. So, Rick, you better kill it.
Okay.
And he'll talk about that. So your videos can appeal to multiple people, 4 different personality styles that Rick's going to go over. And you can pick and choose and switch up and say, hey, I want to talk to analyticals with this video. I want to talk to a driver personality with this video. I want to talk to an expressive with this video. I want to talk to a amiable in this video. And you can actually market to the people that you're trying to communicate with. So it's really important. It's important on print marketing if you're sending mailers. It's important on Facebook ads. It's important on just your regular videos. Super important. Hiring people to your teams, all of that. So what you can do with the videos also, you put it on your Facebook page. You can run traffic to it. Okay? If you're going to be the local community hero, okay, with a Facebook group, and they're on your Facebook fan page or whatever, your personal page also, okay? Nobody cares about your business, by the way. Might as well say that right now. They don't give a shit. Write that down. You know why? Because they care about themselves. And I don't say that in a negative way, it's human nature. They don't have time to care about your business. That's why you don't get all the referrals. Because life is like a tornado for most of the families out there because they're running to school, they're running to work, they're running to sports, they're running to this and that. They're trying to have a date night, they're trying to do this. Right? So when I say they don't care about you or your business, take that with a grain of salt. They do because you're human, they do because you're kind, they do because you're a professional, but they don't because they're busy. You're not their priority, they are their priority, their family is their priority, and then time off is their priority, a vacation, and then you, like, down the hill. Okay? So, but it's our egos that make us think that we're really the priority. We're not. So in your marketing, in your communication, how do you communicate that over to that potential buyer or seller? How do you communicate that to the real estate agent you're trying to recruit to your teams or companies? Make me feel important. What are you going to do for me? How are you going to solve my problem? That's what's on their forehead that you should look at every single time you're in front of a buyer or seller. Everybody follow?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it helpful?
Yes.
Okay. So videos, market updates, real estate business, new cool locations that just popped up, whatever they are, restaurants, bars. You know, I said you're like the instant movie star. A new listing, you know, that's really priced well, has a phenomenal view. If it's an average listing, I'm probably not going to post that. I'm not going to do a video on that if it's just average. I want attention grabbers, right? Think about commercials. Think about Super Bowl commercials. Think about what are they going to post in the newspaper. They're going to hook you to watch the movie, right? You're going to go pay to watch a movie through the ads or through the commercials. They're going to hook you to read the newspaper. So that's going to be your line on top of the video. See the best priced home in all of Toronto. This spectacular view is truly one of a kind, but it's not going to last. Something attention grabbing, right? And you can put 2 or 3 lines below that, and white space is important. 2 or 3 lines below that of what that video entails, so the search engines can pick it up. Okay? You can scribe the whole thing and put it on there. Some people do that because it's going to give them better SEO. How do you be real and relatable to your clientele or potential clientele? Are you in the community that you're serving? Are you doing, something good for the community, like toys for the children's hospital or some of that stuff? It's not to showboat. It's like, this is who you are, right? I don't believe in the advantage that you've got to go do a charity thing and you're not into it. Don't frickin' do it. Just write a check or whatever you're into. But if you're real, it's going to come across real, and that alone is your advantage. Okay? So, stories are really important. Hey, let me interview this local butcher, or let me interview the local, childcare in this community. What is it about, right? What is that community about that you're selling? It's not just square footage and price. You are selling a lifestyle that's involved with a community, and that can convey on video. Okay? So there's a whole bunch of different things that you guys can do. And it's hard to do a lot of videos. It's hard. But it's out there forever. So also YouTube, really huge advantage right now, especially with the paid traffic. Start learning that. The videos should not be more than 3 minutes. No more than 3 minutes. Do it short. Everybody's attention span is 1 minute's perfect. Right? 1 minute's perfect. maybe a teaser, 30-second type thing. Don't be just selling. Be relatable, be human, be friendly, and say, hey, I want to do business with that person. They're knowledgeable and they have a smile on their face, right? They're contributing to the community that I want to live in, so I must meet this person, right? So combining this video strategy with a Facebook strategy, with those ads, can really give you omnipresence, okay? What I mean omnipresence is everywhere they look, you are there. And that's done through social media, that's done in combination with mailers, in combination with attending events or throwing the events in your community, in combination with throwing a party with the house that you just sold for the new buyers, right? Or a seller going away party. Hey, don't worry, I'll send out all the invitations. They're going to be really high class. I'm going to make you look really good. I just need all their names, phone numbers, and email addresses and addresses.
Sure.
A couple of you guys got that one. Why? Because I'm leveraging the seller or the buyer for their database. I want to add it to my database, right? I can retarget. Anybody know retargeting on Facebook? Retarget on Instagram, stuff like that. Retargeting, those videos, they keep track of everybody who ever watched your video. And you can pay Facebook and Instagram like 2 cents a video view. Huge leverage to run an interview with a local barber video, a grand opening restaurant video, along with the market update video, along with, hey, anybody watching this, come to my Halloween event. I threw a Halloween event for years, and the most people I ever had was 600 people. Fire marshal shut us down. Not enough space, not enough parking. Man, it was a great event. They still ask me, am I doing it again? Which we might this year. I got to build it back up. You know, everybody goes in waves, right, in their business. The peaks and valleys of real estate business. How much energy do you have to keep it going, right? Okay, so videos I would post on Instagram stories are really, really big. So are Facebook stories. And the reason why, they're telling me I'm going to try to go fast. The reason why is because you can see who is watching your stuff, right? You can take account of that. You can snap a picture on your phone. Now you know who's watching that stuff. So image is important. Content is very, very important. I didn't even get to the listings. Let me just run through this, William, and I'll cut it off. Okay, so mastering your market and becoming the go-to realtor with omnipresence. Digital farming is what we just talked about with the video, okay, with the engagement. Okay, that's all digital farming. Okay, that's actually making you the omnipresent realtor in your community. You add mail to that, you add doorstep. I used to use notepads because 25 sheets of a notepad, you can mail it, which is great, or you put on a doorstep, or you can do both, along with a postcard, along with the just listed or just sold card, along with omnipresence online, along with being at the grand opening at the restaurant, along with having your Easter egg hunt, gives you a huge advantage in that neighborhood and community. And why that is important is because it's going to stabilize your business for the length of your career if you stay in that neighborhood. So pick a good neighborhood. Okay? Let's see here. Oh, buyer seminars, seller seminars, investor seminars. One more thing I want to touch on. all your Facebook friends and your Facebook neighbors, all of that. How do you think about this? How do I, other than the strategies I gave you, how do I bring these people into my community, my database, where they can know me, they can like me, they can trust me? Okay? Or, hey, maybe they're not going to like you, which you're the dominant agent in the neighborhood, because they don't like you because of whatever reason, but they respect you because you're the dominant agent in the neighborhood. They still will do business with you, as long as you treat them with respect. So it all ties together, but that right there is a huge strategy for omnipresence that you guys can really take off and make a ton of money with that. You can contain and control your clientele. You can control your time using the strategies for listings. And that's really, really important for everybody here. And as Zillow and as Trulia and as all these other companies come in to the marketplace, they want your market share. Make no mistake. They want your commissions to go from highly paid real estate agents to employees. Oh, yes. They do. So, take them off of those portals. Deliver enough value, enough trust, enough content where they're never going to go to that as a competitor. Now, I've said two things on those. I said, yes, it might be a huge opportunity for some of you guys to go get that business because it's coming. And I also said, don't give them the opportunity. I'm talking two ways because everybody's different in here. Everybody's got different opinions on how they want to run their business. But there's opportunities in both. Okay? I'm done. Time's up.